Joe Biden proved to be more cunning and strategic than anybody would have thought. He went to the lengths and depths that we wanted him to, and now he's just granted a pardon to the entirety of his family, all those that were in the crosshairs of a fallacious, ridiculous investigation into the Biden crime family by the House Oversight Committee and the Judiciary Committee. And Joe Biden, in the waning moments, has fired back with full clemency, full pardon for all those in his family that were in those crosshairs. I'm Michael Popok with an extraordinary report about an extraordinary act that I agree with at the intersection of law and politics. You're here on the MeidasTouch Network and Legal AF. Let's dive into it. You've got, let me read it to you first, executive grant of clemency by President of the United States of America, Joseph R. Biden Jr. Be it known that this day, I, Joseph R. Biden Jr., President of the United States, pursuant to my powers under Article 2, Section 2, Clause 1 of the Constitution, have granted unto James B. Biden's brother, Sarah Jones Biden, Valerie Biden Owens, John T. Owens, Francis W. Biden, a full and unconditional pardon for any nonviolent offenses against the United States which they may have committed or taken part in during the period from January 1st, 2014 through the date of this pardon. Testimony thereof, signed on the 19th day of January, yesterday, Joseph R. Biden. What does it mean? The House Judiciary and Oversight Committee, once it was controlled by MAGA, decided to do Donald Trump's bidding and make it a campaign issue to argue that Donald Trump's not corrupt, the Biden crime family is corrupt, Biden is corrupt, Biden and Hunter Biden are corrupt, Biden lined his pocket with bribes, his brother and his sister and sister-in-law and those related to him, nieces and nephews, made money off of Biden. Now, first of all, we know for a fact that Joe Biden's 50 years in public service, nobody's had more examinations of his private life and public life than Joe Biden. Comes with the territory when you're the youngest senator and the oldest president and everything in between, including a vice president, and in the Senate for so long. There's very little secrets out there. And plenty of time to vet him, evaluate him by the media and otherwise, right? That's Joe Biden. The fact that there are people in Joe Biden's life that made a shekel, made a little money because they're related to the president. If that's a crime, then put the entire Trump family in jail. They made hundreds of millions of dollars off the back of Donald Trump being president, including Donald Trump while he was in office, before he was in office, after he was in office, while he was in office. I'm not even counting the $2 billion that Jared Kushner took in as an unqualified operator of a private equity fund with the Saudi Arabian blood money. I'm just talking about at this point how much they made in the grift. And that includes the operation of the Trump International Hotel in the old post office building near Washington, where they forced effectively everybody that wanted to do business with the government to go put money into the Trump cash register. That's all we've been watching. I mean, it is, talk about the pot calling the kettle black. Donald Trump's issuing phony meme cryptocurrency the day before his inauguration to make money. So making money being related to a president or a senator or whatever is as old as time, right? Billy Carter sold Billy beer and other things related to him being the less successful brother of Jimmy Carter, right? The brother of Hillary Clinton did something, similar with trying to do that. Relatives, half sisters and brothers around Barack Obama, same thing. Donald Trump is Exhibit A. The criminal kleptocracy of his administrations in the past will only be rivaled and beaten by what he's going to do on the way in. So I know Joe Biden is getting a lot of flack, even from moderates who were upset and all up in arms about him pardoning Hunter Biden. I almost said huntering. Hunter pardon. So he got attacked. Oh, this is an indelible stain on the legacy of Joe Biden. This episode of Legal AF is brought to you by Graza. Everyone knows I love food, and lately what's taken my food to that next level of flavor is Graza. Graza is my olive oil of choice. It's top-notch, extra virgin olive oil at an affordable everyday price. Graza is always fresh, never blended, and made from one kind of olive from one place. The Piquillol olive from Jaén, Spain, where over half the world's olive oil is produced. Graza has not one, but 2 olive oils that come in a super fun squeeze bottle for ridiculously easy sizzling, drizzling, and everything in between. Sizzle, their everyday cooking oil, can handle the heat with a smoke point of 410 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's great for baking, sautéing, and, well, anything you cook. They also have Drizzle, a super punchy, flavorful finishing oil that can be used to whip up a salad dressing, dip a baguette into, or even drizzle over your ice cream. It's seriously the best olive oil you'll ever taste. Look, I'm a big home cook, so quality olive oil is essential in my kitchen. First, I always have a giant bottle of olive oil right next to the stove for every occasion, and I love Spanish olive oil. The sizzle has been great for cooking, and I love the squeeze bottle format for easy cooking. I'd highly recommend it for any home chef who likes to cook with high quality and delicious tasting olive oil. Graza is just like what restaurant chefs use, plus what pours out is vibrant, super fresh, and aromatic in a way that supermarket olive oil, well, it isn't. Listeners to our show will get 10% off your first order of any olive oil on their site, but I wholeheartedly recommend the Graza Starter Kit. You'll receive 2 squeezy bottles of olive oil, sizzle for cooking, and drizzle for finishing with an extra kick of flavor. Plus, they'll include 2 refill cans. So if you run out of olive oil, there's no need to buy a new bottle. Graza makes it easy to be eco-friendly with their refill cans that are perfectly proportioned for your sizzle and drizzle squeeze bottles. You can also find their bottles and refill cans on shelves at a Whole Foods or Target near you. Both the Squeezy Duo and the refill can seal in freshness and block out light to maximize flavor and quality. So head to graza.co, and use Legal AF to get 10% off your Graza Starter Kit and get to cooking your next chef-quality meal. Joe Biden's legacy is safe. When they build the Joseph R. Biden Jr. Presidential Library somewhere in Delaware, I'm sure, you will be amazed at what he accomplished in the first 2 or 3 years of his administration. Inflation was at 9% when he took over, 2.9% when he left. Gas prices were $2 more than they are now. The economy and the engine of the economy was dead and cold. $3 trillion later, it became roaring back. Yes, there was some inflation that went along with that, but he got that under control as well. He signed laws to lower drug prices, to increase chip manufacturing, to invest in our infrastructure, invest in jobs in our communities, things that will pay a lasting dividend long after Donald Trump is buried and his next presidency is over. So just because you're related to the presidency or the president, and maybe you made a buck, you got onto a board seat you wouldn't have got on if your last name was, I don't know, fill in the blank, Zimmerman or something, or Popok or something else. Maybe you got an investment opportunity that was sent your way that you wouldn't have if your last name wasn't the same as a president. It happens all the time. It's not a crime. It's not in the Constitution that you can't. It's good business and good family. Who doesn't try to use family connections if they have them? You'd be an idiot not to. So Joe Biden's going to take a lot of flack. Oh, he pardoned them. Fox News, I'm sure, is going to run a whole story. Oh, it's obvious that they're guilty. When Donald Trump is about to pardon 1,600 to 2,000 people, including everybody in his administration, let alone a self-pardon, who is he to talk? It's the right thing for Joe Biden to do, to protect his family. This is consistent with who Joe Biden is as a person. I'm not sitting here with my nose scrunched up because Joe Biden protected his son, protected his family from the MAGA Congress and MAGA Trump world has already said they're going to go after the Biden crime family. I mean, you just saw a leak last week where supposedly, Bob Woodward the famous intrepid reporter, an investigative reporter for the Washington Post at the time, who's written many, many, many books about Biden, about Trump, about Obama, all the way back to Nixon in the Watergate era, supposedly told people in the Trump world that he thought the Biden crime family was worse than Watergate, but that nobody would ever go after them. I mean, I don't think that's true. First of all, I don't think that Woodward said that or believes that, but you can see what they were doing, right, to try to taunt Joe Biden. And he responded, and he's responded the right way. I've said for a long time, we got to go to the lengths and the depths of our opponent. We got to have sharp elbows, and we got to start taking our country back and our party back and reframe our brand. And this pardon of the people in Joe Biden's life is appropriate. I'm hoping we'd hear a few more. I'm still hoping to hope that one slips out from yesterday about Michael Cohen, although we haven't heard it yet. I'll continue to follow it all right here on the MeidasTouch Network on Legal AF. I'm doing about 20 videos a week here on the MeidasTouch Network, another 20 or so over on Legal AF, the YouTube channel that I curate along with the MeidasTouch Network. Help us continue to grow that pro-democracy channel as well. And then I got a new show called Popok Live. It's like Jimmy Kimmel Live, except without Jimmy and with me every Tuesday night here on the MeidasTouch Network at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And we'll be putting that on podcast platforms as well. So until my next Legal AF reporting, there's going to be no busier intersection in our life in the next 4 years than the intersection of law and politics. There's going to be dozens of lawsuits, I believe, filed in the next 10 days. And the only place you'll be able to follow it and get information, get fair, independent commentary and reporting and analysis is here on Legal AF and on the MeidasTouch Network. Join our network, join our channel. Till my next reporting, I'm Michael Popok. In collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories, the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.